in the bustling city of Paris, where the streets are lined with cafes, and the air is filled with the scent of fresh pastries, there lived a young woman named Claire. She was a dreamer, with her head often lost in the pages of the books she loved to read. Claire worked as a librarian, surrounded by stories of love, adventure, and mystery. But while her life was filled with the romance of fiction, her own heart longed for a love as profound as the ones she read about. One rainy afternoon, as Claire was organizing the shelves in the library, she noticed a man standing by the window, staring out at the rain. He was tall, with dark hair that curled slightly at the ends and eyes that held a quiet sadness. He looked out of place, as if he had wandered into the library by accident but didn't want to leave. Claire couldn't help but watch him, intrigued by the mystery he seemed to carry. After a few minutes, the man turned away from the window and began to browse the shelves. Claire continued her work, but her eyes kept drifting back to him. Finally, he picked up a book and brought it to the counter. As Claire checked out the book for him, she noticed the title, Love in the Time of Cholera. An excellent choice, she said with a smile, trying to break the ice. The man returned her smile, though it was a little sad. I've heard it's a beautiful story, he replied. It is, Claire agreed. One of my favorites. He nodded and hesitated for a moment before asking, do you believe in love like that? The kind that endures, no matter what? Claire was taken aback by the question. It was rare for a stranger to ask such a personal thing, but there was something about him that made her want to answer honestly. I'd like to, she said softly. I think it's possible if two people are willing to fight for it. The man seemed to ponder her words for a moment. Before thanking her and leaving the library, Claire watched him go, wondering about the sadness in his eyes and the question he had asked. Over the next few weeks, the man became a regular visitor to the library. His name was Julien, and he was a writer. Though he hadn't published anything in years, he told Claire that he had come to Paris to find inspiration, hoping that the city of love might help him finish the novel he had been working on for so long. As they talked more, Claire and Julien found themselves drawn to each other. They shared a love of literature and often discussed their favorite books, debating the merits of different characters and plot lines. But beyond that, there was an unspoken connection between them, a sense that they understood each other in a way that went deeper than words. One evening, after the library had closed, Julien asked Claire to join him for a walk along the Seine. The rain had stopped, and the city was bathed in the soft glow of streetlights. They walked in comfortable silence for a while, listening to the gentle lapping of the water against the banks. Finally, Julien broke the silence. I haven't been completely honest with you, he said quietly. There's a reason I asked you that question about love. Claire looked at him, waiting. Julien took a deep breath. I was in love once, he said deeply, but it ended badly, and I've been afraid to write about it. Afraid to face those memories. That's why I came here. I thought if I could find inspiration, I might be able to finish my novel. But the truth is, I've been running away from it. Claire felt her heart ache for him. What happened? She asked gently. She died, Julien said simply. It was sudden, and I never got to say goodbye. Since then, I felt like a part of me was missing, like I lost my purpose. Claire reached out and took his hand. I'm so sorry, Julien, she said, but I think writing about her might help you heal. Maybe that's why you came here, to find a way to say goodbye. Julien squeezed her hand, grateful for her kindness. Maybe you're right, he said, but I didn't expect to find someone like you. You've made me believe that love is still possible, even after everything. They stood there for a long moment, the weight of his confession hanging between them. And then, slowly, Julien leaned in and kissed her. It was a gentle kiss, filled with the promise of something new, something that could grow between them. From that night on, Julien and Claire's relationship deepened. They spent more time together, exploring the city, sharing stories, and slowly falling in love. Julien began to write again, pouring his heart into his novel. He wrote about the woman he had lost, but he also wrote about the woman he had found, Claire, who had brought light back into his life. Months passed, and as Julien finished his novel, he realized that he had found the inspiration he had been searching for. It wasn't just Paris that had helped him heal. It was Claire, with her quiet strength and unwavering belief in love. One evening, as they stood on the same bridge where they had shared their first kiss, Julien pulled out a small, leather-bound book. It was his finished novel. He handed it to Claire, his eyes shining with emotion. "It's done," he said, "and it's because of you. You helped me find my way back to love." Claire took the book, her heart swelling with happiness. "I'm so proud of you, Julien," she whispered. As they stood there, the stars twinkling above them, Julien took her hand. "Claire," he said softly, "I've found my love story, and it's with you. Will you write the rest of it with me?" Tears filled Claire's eyes as she nodded. "Yes, Julien," she said, "I will." And so, beneath the Parisian sky, surrounded by the beauty of the city they both loved, Claire and Julien began a new chapter in their lives. A chapter filled with love, hope, and the promise of a future written in the stars. Morals: new beginnings. Every ending is a chance for a new beginning.